This podcast is produced by the Fireside Chat Club of Canada. Hello, and welcome to Canada as I See It. Hello, and welcome to this week's podcast. Today is a big day. Like last Sunday or the whole of last week wasn't, right? June the 9th. Today marks the beginning of the 8th month of me presenting Canada as I See It. It clicked to me the other day when Caroline asked, "How many episodes have you done?" And I realized, wow, this is the 32nd one. Today also marks me going back to my original plan of looking at one of my Canadian essays from a few years back. Fortunately, it just works that today is also the birthday of one of those subjects. For those of you unfamiliar with this model, I began writing daily essays during the spring of 2020, and they were all based on the t-shirt that I happened to be wearing that particular day. And there wasn't much else really to do for me back then. One of the last ones I wrote about, number 100, was in July of that year, and it had over 200 uniquely Canadian facts and people listed on it. And, well, James had a new project. The daily essays continued into March of 2021, and from there, I began to develop this method of touching base with you. These podcasts aren't solely copies of the essays. I've juiced them up a bit, I guess, and I've used them as inspiration for what you've been listening to for the last 8 months. I mentioned it was someone's birthday, and, well, all you had to do was look at the title of this episode. I'm terrible at keeping secrets. You'll know of whom I speak. You may know him from his CBC beginnings on Leo and Me. Or maybe not. Only 12 episodes were produced where he played the 12-year-old nephew, me, of Leo when he was 15. This person was fortunate. He had the genes to do that. 7 years later, when he was 22, he had only aged maybe 2 television years. You know, that really works, except for the babies on television. Have you ever noticed? They can age 3 to 4 years over a summer. Anyway, he got his big break when he took on the role of Alex P. Keaton on the sitcom Family Ties. Michael Andrew Fox was born in Edmonton, Alberta on June 9th, 1961, to an actress mother and a police officer and Canada Forces father. They did move across the country, but they finally settled in Burnaby, British Columbia, by the time Michael was 10. So you might be wondering, why the initial J when his middle name was Andrew? Well, when you register as an actor in the U.S. with the Screen Actors Guild, you must have a name that is unique, lest you be confused with one of your acting colleagues and, well, possibly have royalty checks misdirected. Michael already shared his given and surname with an established character actor, and he didn't want to use the A as an initial. Well, to be truthful, it sounded too much like Michael A. Fox, too stereotypically Canadian, I guess, for his liking. So he chose J as a tribute to the actor Michael J. Pollard. While he was starring on Family Ties, he got a callback for a part in a little movie called Back to the Future. And so, after already living the Hollywood life that many actors could only wish for, His star flew even higher and higher into the atmosphere. He did 2 sequels to that movie within a 5-year period, and his real-life role as teen idol was cemented. Also, while he was making Family Ties, he met Tracy Pollan, who played the role of his girlfriend for a short time on the show. And they were married on July 16th, 1988, and they now have 4 children. Well, during the 5-year period that he was making the series and the movies, he also starred in the following movies: Teen Wolf, Secret of My Success, and, well, the much darker Casualties of War. It was during the filming of his next major film, Doc Hollywood, in 1991, that he discovered a tremor in his hand. Shortly thereafter, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease at age 29. He didn't actually publicly release the information of his diagnosis until 1998. Even still, he performed in another major TV series, Spin City, for 103 episodes until 2001, and several others through the years. Near the end of Spin City in 2000, he founded the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. When he began the foundation, he, chose to retire from acting. He did return shortly thereafter and continued to act until the end of 2020. That was mainly because he found it increasingly difficult to remember dialogue. The Michael J. Fox Foundation has raised over, are you ready, $2 billion. That's B for billion. And that number continues to rise by the day, thanks to annual galas and regular fundraisers. It's also the largest non-profit funder of Parkinson's research in the world. Not bad for a Canadian boy from Edmonton, eh? Now, next up, first of all, why do people say it goes without saying and then say it anyhow? Well, I can't really answer that, but here it comes. It goes without saying that Mr. Fox has definitely won awards through the years. Okay, here's the list. Here we go. Oscars. Yes, 1. The Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award. Emmys. 5. 3 for Family Ties, 1 for Spin City, and a guest actor award for the FX series Rescue Me. He has 1 Grammy for his spoken word album Always Looking Up in 2010. Golden Globe Awards, 4. 1 for Family Ties and 3 for Spin City. And 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards, both for Spin City. He also has a Hollywood Walk of Fame star, a Canadian Walk of Fame star, and he has his hands and signature in concrete in Disney's Hollywood Studios Park. And, to tie it all together, he's a member of the Order of Canada. These days, Michael and his wife Tracy live primarily in Manhattan, but he is quick to point out that he holds dual U.S.-Canadian citizenship. He does admit that things get harder and harder every day, but he continues to stay in the public eye and says that his foundation will be here as long as Parkinson's is. Truly a great and inspirational Canadian. There is a documentary called Still, a Michael J. Fox movie, and you can see that on Apple Plus TV. And if you want to learn more about his efforts to raise money to help eradicate Parkinson's, please visit michaeljfox.org. That's Michael, MichaelJFox.org. If you'd like to introduce this program, please send me a recording of you saying, "This podcast is produced by the Fireside Chat Club of Canada," and send it to me via Facebook Messenger, James Warpole, or you can email it to me at asiseeit@warpole.ca. That's WHORPOLE.ca. I want to express my appreciation to you all listening to me, well, let's be truthful, essentially read for the last 11 minutes. The last few weeks have been the most active for this podcast. It has had more downloads since last November, and that is all due to you, my listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you again next week. And that's a part of Canada as I see it. It is written and produced by me, James Warpole, and brought to life by the Fireside Chat Club of Canada. Our theme song is Night Owls by Braden Deal. If you have any questions or comments, please email me at asiseeit@warpole.ca. Join us every Sunday for another episode of Canada as I See It.